All right, so the Fed Reserve has beaten inflation because gas went down. It doesn't matter, it's still way up from what it was about a year and a half ago, but it came down from over 4 something a gallon for unleaded out here. It dropped to now like 270, some places 260. I would say on an average 270 because some of our 290s, so let's just say 270 is an average out here in Diamond State of Arkansas. And people are celebrating. Federal Reserve is now supposedly going to cut rates. I'm still shocked that they were able to get away with, as you guys know, I admit when I'm wrong on certain things. I'm not wrong much, but when I am, I admit it. I did not think they were going to be able to raise rates so many times without everything officially completely blowing up, like bond market, real estate market, stock market, everything, right? There was a lot of cracks. We know the banking issues and all that. Stock market sold off about 20% or so. Then now it's like again at the all-time high. So really nothing major happened. Bond market showed a lot of cracks. All of that has already taken place, while Fed was able to go from basically 0 to over 5%, which is pretty much remarkable. And now they're saying they're just going to go with some rate cuts, but everything is fine. They defeated inflation, even though inflation is still persistent, but they defeated it. Like, you cannot put these pieces together to make sense. It is so many lies, so much of a nonsense that it's a complete clown show. It's what it is. So I stopped by. I needed like a couple of little stands. We're doing that giveaway for briskets, basically $100 worth giveaway for briskets. So I needed a couple of stands, those little plastic ones. Walmart did not have them available, and I needed them now because our giveaway is on December 20th. So I'm like, okay, I'll stop to Office Depot, whatever it's called. $14.50 for one of those small little stands that you just slide the flyer in, made out of plastic. So $30 for 2 little stands. Like I said, I understand you're doing some shopping around and you can find it, but nonetheless, that's what they're charging. Then I stopped at CVS. I'm like, okay, I'm outside all day. I was playing some tennis, and I had more tennis going on, hours in a day sometimes. And I changed my outfit real quick. I'm like, I'm going to put some deodorant on, but I ran out. We make our own, by the way, at the ranch, like a tallow. Ran out of that, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop in and see if there is any deodorant I can buy. Those like small sprays, like $12, $13, $9.99. But then they have, basically ridiculous. Then they have a sign, of course, that if you buy one, then the other one is 50% off. But the item is already like 100 to 200% up in just the last couple of years. So I'm paying 2-3 times as much, but then if I buy one more, then I get 50% off. And people are actually falling for this. Now again, people will say, I don't need no stand for the flyer. I don't need no deodorant. I don't need this. I don't need food. I can eat crickets. Masses cannot ignore this for too long. 2024, you can mark this in your calendar right now, is going to be a year to remember when it comes to social unrest and inflation. That's going to skyrocket back up as the wave. Now we're entering number 3. This is how it was in the 70s. We already completed 2 waves, and I hope I'm wrong on this, but I don't think I am. I think food is going to get higher. A lot of other items that are basically now going to become a luxury in the, unfortunately, divided states of America. You got one of those sprays, like deodorant, spray new one, you're going to look at as rich. People might try to rob you. I mean, that's what is going on. Like 3 years ago, if you mentioned this, or let's just say prior to COVID BS, if you'd have said that deodorant or stand for a flyer is going to be luxury in the United States, people would laugh. Now, 10-15% of Americans are still doing really well. You got a lot of people with pretty good jobs. The credit cards are working. Everybody's just swiping them left and right. They're not even paying them off. But you're looking at 80 to 90, possibly even higher than that. But let's just say a very conservative number, 80% of Americans, which is roughly, I don't know, 250, 300 million Americans right now are just looking for answers. Okay? Looking for answers. What are we doing? I guess inflation wasn't transitory, but they're saying they beat inflation, but they did not beat inflation, but they're going to cut rates. So I guess gas is going to come down to $1.80, $2 again, possibly, before we go back up to over $3.50, $4 a gallon across the nation as we enter the third wave of inflation. That's what I believe is going to happen. But more of this tomorrow. I got a really good guest that's going to be on the show here on the New American Realist. This guy's got so many interesting charts when it comes to real estate and everything, so you might want to tune in tomorrow for that. He's on X at Golden Coast. I will post the link down below once we have an interview about this guy. I haven't met him yet, of course, on name basis. We just kind of follow each other, and I'm really looking forward to that, because this guy has got about 10,000 followers on X, Twitter, and I think it's very underrated account. So let me know first what you think about this video. I'm not done with my, I guess you can call it a rant or just reality check for today. I mean, we've got the bill that just passed, almost $1 trillion new bill, basically to spy on U.S. citizens. I will post a link on that down below. It's just communism in your face 24/7. The more things that are happening that we know are showing not just cracks, but huge holes in society, in spiritual life, financially, of course. The more you hear these crazy bills that they are passing and all these, rules and regulations, it's just non-stop. It's like the freaks in office are just scrambling. The public servants that turned into tyrants, they're not stopping. They're right now doing whatever they can to make sure that people stay brainwashed, and they're constantly looking elsewhere, not at actually what is going on. So the uprise from the masses, from the working class, whether it's people from left or right, is going to be epic. And I have to unfortunately tell you that 2024 is when that takes place, regardless of who wins. If Trump wins, it's going to get a lot worse, because the left is, of course, protected by the establishment, and they're going to be allowed to do whatever they did in 2016 times 100. Okay, not times 10, times 100. Because they are almost making it legal that someone can go inside your house and take what's yours, but maybe it's not $10,000 worth of stuff, it's $9,000, so they can get away with it without even having a felony on their record, right? That's all these crazy things that we are hearing now is going to get more intense as we are approaching general election. So you got to right now, this is not life trading or investing advice. I'm just trying to make sense out of this nonsense, and nonsense there is plenty. You got to take it even more seriously and prepare more. You got to be your own security. Use your own common sense. What that means, you got to be your own central bank. Use your common sense, whatever that is. I talk about it to nauseum on this channel. And get right with the man above, okay? Because we are not prepared enough for what is happening, because this is spiritual awakening for a lot of people. This is spiritual warfare. I talked about that on this channel too. Of course, got ridiculed for that. Now we got some of the congresswomen putting satanic statues inside, their I think it was in Iowa. I'll try to find that and also post that link down below so you can take a look. I mean, again, I know you heard it before. You can't make it up. You cannot make it up. Where is Alex Jones was right tip jar overflowing from tips? I mean, the man has been wrong on some stuff and correct. I don't know. 95% of things he said that sounded insane are all coming to light right now. Almost everything. There is a video of 10,000 illegals right now crossing our border today. While we are still talking about Ukraine, sending them hundreds of billions, it's probably in trillions already, but then again, what is a trillion anymore? Nothing. It's just numbers. They don't even print them anymore. They just type digits on the screen and go. And then you go by the other end and you want to puke when you see the prices. They give you the little bag. You know how you go to dentist and you get like a little present because you had no cavity, so there's like a little bag with like a miniature toothpaste and a toothbrush inside. That's how big it is that you put your items in. It'll cost you $50 or $60, but guess what? You bought one and the other one was 50% off. Again, when people realize that inflation wasn't transitory and that's about to get worse, and wages continue to be stagnant, this is where the real problems will occur, because people will not care which party is in the office. They're just going to want answers, and they want answers immediately. And what is that going to be? Well, give me more free stuff, and that's going to drive inflation even higher. Those freaks in charge, the suits, public servants, will immediately agree. They're going to send thousands of dollars per person just to kind of calm things down. And then you're going to be looking at a loaf of bread for $10 pretty soon. And a gallon of milk is probably going to be about priced the same. I talked about real natural chickens going to about $100. Right now they're about 50 or so for maybe 5-pounder at Costco. And we don't even know if that's actually natural organic chicken, meaning like it wasn't processed with who knows what. They just slap a label on it and you just don't even know what it is. Yeah, that's where we're looking at, and this is what's been going on. If you get a chance, listen to my latest video. I talked about Bill Gates and everything what's going on with food industry. I also touched up on other videos, tying that up with, fake labels and all that, what they're doing. How meat, 85% of grass-fed beef is actually imported from other countries. Not 18 or 8%, 85%. So almost all of the grass-fed beef in the divided states of America is imported from other countries, which we have no idea. So these are not cattle that were raised right, on our land out here. They're coming from China, they're coming from New Zealand or whatever, Australia, that they said mostly from there. We have no idea. We know what Australian government, how they reacted during the so-called deadly, virus. So to trust them, yeah, with some kind of USDA labeled certified meat and all that, I don't know. I mean, you guys tell me. I think the trust is almost completely gone. I think crack up boom is coming in 2024. I talked about it on a couple of videos this year. I expected it to happen a couple of years ago. It still hasn't happened yet, meaning when people rush to buy stuff, just hoard things, knowing that the next day when they go to the store, it's going to be 20% higher, 10% or double in price. So that's going to be really interesting, unfortunately in a bad way to watch, when the crack up boom takes place and how inflation reacts in 2024. And again, the deflation narrative, the deflation camp, I think is and has been correct the whole time, because the middle class has deflated. This is deflation of the savings, deflation of the middle class because of inflation. Well, there you go. I guess I'll stop now because it's over 15 minutes. I usually keep these videos a lot shorter, especially when it's done driving and I'm bouncing around like this and you hear all this noise. But I believe it's all about content. Let me know if you appreciate these videos, if you like them, if you don't like them, where am I wrong? Let me know. Thumbs down if you don't like them, thumbs up if you like them. Share, let me know what you think, and don't forget to enter our huge, over 12 pounds brisket drawing. And I'll add, for one of you guys, if you tell me that you saw me on YouTube, I'll add a juicy, huge New York strip grass-fed as well. Grass-fed in United States, in Arkansas. I'm out.